In the river village of Umwoka, when the moon sits low like a tired drum, elders tell this story. It is not a tale for children who laugh without thinking. It is for those who have loved deeply and feared losing that love. Nena was 48 when her quiet life changed. Widowhood had rested on her shoulders for 12 long years. Her children had gone to the city. Her house had grown to silent. Then Obinna came. He was 22, tall and strong, with skin that shone like polished mahogany under the sun. He climbed palm trees as if the wind carried him. When he laughed, even the old women smiled without knowing why. Nena first noticed him at the stream. He helped her lift her water pot without being asked. His voice was respectful. His eyes were warm. That small kindness opened a door inside her heart she thought had been sealed forever. Love does not ask for permission. It simply enters. And when it does, even the wise forget caution. At first, it was nothing more than conversation. Obinna greeted her each morning. He brought her fresh palm wine before selling the rest. He fixed her leaking roof without payment. The villagers began to notice. Some shook their heads. Some whispered. A woman old enough to be his mother, they murmured. But Obinna did not seem ashamed. He sat with her under the udala tree in the evenings. He listened when she spoke of her late husband. He told her dreams of building a small shop someday. Nena felt alive again. Her laughter returned. She wore brighter wrappers. She braided her hair more carefully. She began to walk with purpose instead of weariness. Love has a way of painting new colors on old walls. Yet not everyone celebrated. Obinna's friends mocked him quietly. Young girls watched with jealous eyes. The elders warned that such unions disturb balance. But when two hearts cling to each other, warnings sound like distant thunder. And distant thunder is often ignored. Soon, the whispers grew louder. At the marketplace, women stopped speaking when Nena approached. Some laughed behind their hands. Others pitied her openly. She is chasing youth, they said. Obinna's uncle called him aside. A young tree should not lean on an old one, he warned. But Obinna defended her. He said love is not counted in years. He said peace matters more than gossip. Those words fed Nena's heart like rain feeds dry soil. Yet something strange began to stir. One night, Obinna returned from tapping palm wine later than usual. He looked pale. His hands trembled slightly. When Nena touched his forehead, it was cold, not hot like fever, but cold like river water at dawn. I am fine, he insisted. But that night he spoke in his sleep. His voice was deeper, older, and he called a name Nena did not recognize. When morning came, he remembered nothing. But Nena remembered everything. And fear, like a thin thread, began to weave itself into her joy. The trembling did not stop. Each evening, Obinna grew weaker. His strong arms seemed heavy. The ropes he once climbed with ease now burned his palms. Strange marks appeared on his chest, faint at first, like shadows beneath the skin. The village healer examined him. She mixed herbs. She prayed over charcoal smoke. It is not ordinary sickness, she finally said. Those words chilled Nena more than Harmattan whined. Obinna tried to smile, but even his smile seemed borrowed. At night, he walked outside without knowing. Twice, Nena found him standing at the edge of the forest, staring into darkness. When she called his name, he blinked as if waking from deep water. The elders began to speak of spiritual imbalance. Some whispered that love built on defiance attracts jealous spirits. Nena refused to listen. Love had returned to her after years of emptiness. She would not let unseen forces steal it away. But love, when mixed with fear, can drive even a careful woman toward dangerous doors. And the forest held one such door. Beyond Umwoka stood an ancient forest no one entered after sunset. Deep within it lay a forgotten shrine, older than the village, older than memory. It was said to answer desperate prayers. But the elders always added one warning. It never gives without taking. Nena had heard the stories as a child. Women who sought wealth lost their peace. Men who sought power lost their families. Still, when fear grows louder than wisdom, even old warnings sound small. One evening, Obinna collapsed near the palm trees. His body shook violently. Foam gathered at the corner of his lips. Nena screamed for help. The healer returned. She shook her head slowly. If you love him, she whispered, prepare your heart. Those words pierced deeper than any blade. That night, As the village slept, Nena wrapped her scarf tightly and stepped into the forest. She did not tell anyone. Desperation walked beside her, and the moon watched silently as she crossed into forbidden ground. The forest air felt heavy, as if it remembered every secret ever buried there. Crickets fell silent as Nena walked. Even the wind seemed to pause. She followed the narrow path until she saw it, the shrine. It was built of dark stones covered in moss. Symbols were carved into its surface, symbols older than language. A small fire burned before it, and beside the fire sat a woman. Her hair was white, yet her face did not look old. Her eyes were sharp, like someone who sees beyond flesh. "I knew you would come," the woman said calmly. Nena fell to her knees. "Save him," she begged. The woman studied her carefully. "The shrine listens," she said, "but it feeds on the thing you cherish most." "I cherish him," Nena replied without hesitation. The woman's gaze hardened. "Be careful. Some loves are too deep. The shrine does not take blood first. It takes something quieter." Nena's tears fell freely. "I will give anything." The woman nodded slowly. "Then speak your vow." And beneath the watching trees, Nena did. The air shifted the moment her vow left her lips. The fire rose higher without wood being added. The symbols on the shrine seemed to shimmer like heat on dry ground. The white-haired woman placed her hand on Nena's head. "Return home," she said softly. Before dawn breaks, Nena did not look back as she ran. By the time the first rooster crowed, she was at Obina's side. He lay still. Then, slowly, his breathing deepened. His trembling stopped. His skin grew warm again. When his eyes opened, they were clear, brighter than they had been in weeks. "Nena," he whispered, smiling. Joy flooded her body like sunlight after heavy rain. She believed the danger had passed. She believed love had won. But blessings that come too easily often carry unseen shadows. That evening, Obina rose from bed stronger than before. He lifted heavy buckets with ease. He laughed loudly. Yet something in his laughter sounded different. Not wrong, just unfamiliar. And when he looked at her, his gaze lingered, but not with the same softness. Nena ignored the small ache forming inside her chest. She had asked for his life. The shrine had answered. Or so she thought. Days passed, and Obina's strength amazed everyone. He climbed palm trees faster than before. He carried loads that once required 2 men. The marks on his chest vanished as if they had never existed. The villagers whispered again, but now with awe. "A miracle," some said. Nena walked beside him proudly. She felt chosen, favored, but love can blind the sharpest eyes. Obina began staying out later. He laughed loudly at the riverside with boys his age. When young women passed, his eyes followed them in ways they never had before. "Nena worries too much," he once joked to his friends. The words reached her ears like distant thunder. One night, she reached for his hand as they sat outside. He pulled away gently. "I am tired," he said. It was a small thing. Yet small things often carry large meanings. Later that night, she watched him sleep. His face looked peaceful, but she noticed something chilling. He no longer whispered her name in his dreams. Instead, he smiled at dreams she could not see. And slowly, quietly, something precious began to thin between them. The first time it happened, Nena thought she imagined it. Obina called her mama. He said it lightly, laughing at something she had scolded him for. But the word did not feel playful. It felt natural. She corrected him gently. He apologized. Yet the next day, it happened again. Not loudly, not mockingly, just unnaturally. "Mama, where did you keep my rope?" The rope slipped from her hand. "I am not your mother," she said softly. He looked confused. "I know," he replied quickly. It just came out, but confusion lingered in his eyes longer than comfort should. That evening, he joined a group of young women at the stream. They giggled as he splashed water toward them. He did not notice Nena watching. Or perhaps he did not care. When he returned home, he seemed distant, like someone visiting, not belonging. Nena's heart tightened. The shrine's warning echoed in her memory. It takes something quieter. She had asked for his life. But what if the shrine had chosen something else? Something softer. Something deeper. Something she did not know how to protect. And that thought kept her awake until morning. "My children, love does not leave in one loud step. It fades like smoke, slowly, until only the smell remains." Obina stopped sitting under the udala tree with Nena. When she called him for evening meals, he answered late. When she dressed carefully, he did not notice. One afternoon, she heard laughter near the stream. She followed the sound. Obina stood ankle-deep in water, splashing a girl no older than 20. The girl's wrapper clung to her waist as she laughed freely. Obina laughed too, the kind of laugh he once saved only for Nena. Nena's chest tightened. When Obina saw her, his smile faded, not with guilt, but with irritation. "You worrying too much," he said later that night. "They are just friends, friends." The word felt like a door closing. She tried to remind him of promises whispered beneath moonlight. He listened, but his eyes wandered as if searching for something beyond her shoulder. That was when she understood the first cruel truth. His body had returned, but his devotion had not. And somewhere deep in the forest, something unseen was feeding quietly. The change became harder to ignore. Obina no longer reached for her at night. When she touched his arm, he gently moved away, saying the heat was too much. The space between them felt wider each day. One evening, as they sat outside, he studied her face for a long moment. "You have lines here," he said softly, tracing near her eyes. "I never noticed before." The words were not meant to wound, but they did. Nena forced a smile. "Time leaves marks on everyone," she replied. Obina nodded, but his gaze drifted toward the path where young girls passed carrying firewood. Later that night, Nena looked into a small mirror. She saw the truth she had tried to ignore, the softness of age, the silver threads in her hair. Love had made her feel young. Now doubt made her feel older than ever. And in the stillness of midnight, she whispered a prayer she had not spoken since childhood. "Let him love me as before." The wind answered with silence. Days later, Obina forgot something worse than a name. He forgot a memory. Nena reminded him of the night rain had trapped them under her roof, the night he promised never to leave her side. Obina frowned. "I said that?" he asked. Her heart skipped. "You do not remember." He shook his head slowly. "It sounds like something a boy would say, a boy, not a man in love." That evening, he spent hours repairing a fishing net for a young widow near the river. When Nena asked why, he shrugged. "She needs help, but I needed you too," Nena whispered. He did not hear her. Or perhaps he chose not to. The distance now felt heavy, like a stone placed between them. Nena's mind returned to the shrine, to the white-haired woman's warning. It feeds on the depth of that love. What if it was not taking his life? What if it was draining something softer? Memory, affection, devotion. She felt it then, the slow theft. And fear grew roots inside her chest. One market day, the whispers turned sharp. Two women spoke loudly enough for Nena to hear. "You cannot tie the wind," one said. "It will always blow toward youth," the other laughed. Nena held her basket tightly and walked away. But humiliation burns longer than fire. When she reached home, she found Obina washing at the back of the house. He was humming, a tune she did not recognize. "Who taught you that song?" she asked. He paused. "I do not know," he said. "It just came to me." That frightened her more than insults ever could. That night, she dreamed of the shrine. She saw the fire burning bright, and from the flames rose soft whispers, her own laughter, her own memories. They curled into smoke and disappeared into the trees. She woke up trembling. Beside her, Obina slept peacefully, peacefully, as if nothing was being stolen. As if love was not thinning like water poured into sand. The day he called her mother without correction, something inside Nena cracked. He had returned from the river with fish. "Mother, cook this well," he said casually, handing them to her. He did not notice her frozen expression. The word had no hesitation this time, no confusion, only certainty. She stepped back slowly. "I am not your mother," she whispered. Obina blinked. His face showed mild surprise, then discomfort. "Why are you upset? I respect you. You care for me. Respect, care, not love. Not desire, not devotion." That night, she reached for him again. He moved away completely. "I cannot continue this," he said gently. "People talk, and it does not feel right anymore." Those words struck like thunder finally arriving. The storm she had ignored now stood over her, and deep inside, she knew. The shrine had begun to collect its true price. Nena did not sleep. Before dawn, she wrapped her scarf and returned to the forest. The path felt colder than before. The trees seemed closer, watching. When she reached the shrine, the white-haired woman was already waiting. "You came again," she said calmly. "You are taking him from me," Nena cried. The woman's eyes held no pity. "You offered your deepest love," she replied. "The shrine does not drink blood first. It drinks attachment." Nena fell to her knees. "Give him back. Take my years. Take my strength." The woman shook her head slowly. "What is taken cannot be returned. You asked for his life to be restored. It is restored, but he does not love me." The fire beside the shrine flared brightly. "That is the cost," the woman said. "The more you cling, the faster it feeds." Nena felt the truth like ice spreading through her veins. She had saved his body, but in doing so, she had offered something greater. And now, the shrine was finishing its meal. The white-haired woman did not raise her voice. She did not threaten. That made her words heavier. "You tied his life to your fear," she said. "Now the shrine unties his heart from you." Nena's tears fell onto the cold earth. "There must be a way," she begged. "There is always a way," the woman replied. "But it demands truth." "What truth?" "That love forced is not love. That youth borrowed is not youth kept. That fear dressed as devotion becomes hunger." The fire beside them dimmed slightly. "If you release him fully," the woman continued, "the shrine will stop feeding. But you must release him not with anger, not with pain, but with surrender." Surrender. The word felt like death. "How can I release what is already leaving?" Nena whispered. The woman's eyes softened for the first time. "Because what you cling to now is not him. It is the memory of how he once looked at you." Silence wrapped around them. Nena realized the cruel truth. She had not come to save love. She had come to hold on to a version of it that no longer lived. And the shrine knew the difference. Nena returned home before sunrise. Obina was awake, packing his small bag. "I have been thinking," he said carefully. "I will move closer to the river. It is better for my work." She watched him quietly. No tears came this time. "Is there someone there?" she asked gently. He hesitated, then nodded. Yes, the word did not break her as she expected. Instead, it settled heavily inside her. "I see," she said. Obina looked relieved by her calmness. "I respect you," he added quickly. "You helped me when I was weak. Helped, not loved." She nodded. As he walked toward the path, he paused. "Thank you, Mother." He did not correct himself. And this time, she did not either. She watched him leave without calling his name. Something inside her loosened, painfully, slowly, like a tight knot being untied. The shrine's fire, far away in the forest, flickered lower. Days passed without Obina's laughter in her yard. The house felt silent again, but different from before. Not empty, just still. Nena avoided the river path. She avoided the marketplace gossip. Instead, she sat beneath the udala tree and listened to the wind. At first, the memories hurt. His smile, his promises, his trembling body the night she feared losing him. But slowly, another truth rose. She had loved him not only because of who he was. She had loved him because he made her feel young, chosen, alive. When he weakened, she had feared returning to loneliness more than she feared losing him. That realization burned deeper than humiliation. She had not trusted life to carry her again. She had forced it. And in forcing it, she had paid. One evening, she felt something strange, not pain, not sorrow, peace. It was small, fragile, but it was real. And somewhere in the forest, the shrine grew quiet. Weeks later, Obina passed her on the village path. He walked beside a young woman, their hands lightly touching. He saw Nena and bowed respectfully. "Good afternoon," he said warmly. There was no confusion in his eyes now. No struggle. Only polite distance. Nena studied his face carefully. The fever, the weakness, the strange shadows, all gone. He looked free. For the first time, she noticed something else. He looked his age. And she looked hers. The sight no longer felt cruel. It felt honest. The young woman beside him greeted Nena shyly. Nena nodded. "May your home be peaceful," she said calmly. They walked away. Her heart did not shatter. It tightened, yes, but it did not break. That night, she dreamed again of the shrine. But this time, the fire was low and steady. No smoke rose from it. No laughter curled into the sky. Only quiet embers glowing softly. The white-haired woman appeared once more. not in the forest, but in Nena's dream. "You are learning," she said. Nena did not kneel this time. "Did the shrine take my love?" she asked. The woman shook her head. "It took the part of love mixed with fear." Nena frowned. "What remains?" The woman's eyes glowed faintly. "What remains is yours. No shrine can eat what is freely given and freely released." Nena woke before dawn. For the first time in many months, her chest felt light. She rose and opened her door to the morning air. Birds sang as if nothing had ever been wrong. Life had not ended. It had only changed. And change, though painful, is not always punishment. Sometimes it is correction. The villagers noticed the difference. Nena no longer dressed to compete with youth. She dressed for comfort and grace. She walked with steady steps when gossip reached her ears. She smiled instead of shrinking. One afternoon, a young widow approached her. "They say you once visited the forest shrine," the widow whispered nervously. Nena held her gaze. "Desperation can lead us to dark doors," she replied. "But some doors teach us what we truly fear." The widow swallowed. "I am afraid of being alone." Nena nodded slowly. So as they sat together beneath the udala tree, for the first time. Nena spoke not as a lover clinging to youth, but as a woman who had faced her own hunger, and in speaking honestly, she felt stronger than she had when Obina first held her hand. Season shifted. Rain washed the red earth clean. Obina married quietly by the river. The drums echoed through the village. Nena did not attend, but she heard the celebration instead of bitterness. She felt a strange gratitude. He had lived. That was what she had begged for. The shrine had answered. It had only removed what was never meant to stay. She understood now. Love that demands ownership rots. Love that allows growth survives, even if it changes shape. That evening, she lit a small lamp in her house. Not for him, for herself, and as the flame burned steady, she realized something simple. She was still here. Whole. Breathing. That was enough. Years later, children gathered around Nena as she sat beneath the same udala tree. They asked about the old forest. They asked about love. She did not speak of Obina's name, but she told them this: "When you love someone, do not hold them so tight that you crush their path." The children listened wide-eyed. "Did the shrine truly take something from you?" one asked boldly. Nena smiled gently. "It took my illusion," she replied. They did not understand fully, but wisdom often waits until age ripens it. She looked toward the forest one last time. It no longer frightened her. It was simply part of the land. Like sorrow. Like joy. Like time on a quiet evening. As the sun melted into orange light, Nena felt no regret. She remembered Obina not as loss, but as a lesson. She remembered the fear that drove her into the forest, and she forgave herself. That forgiveness felt like rain on dry soil. The shrine had not destroyed her. It had stripped away her illusion that love could freeze time. And in doing so, it had given her something greater: acceptance. Acceptance is not loud. It is steady. It does not cling. It does not beg. It simply stands. And in standing, it frees the heart. So listen well, my children. In Umwoka, the forest still stands. The shrine still waits for desperate footsteps. But remember this story before you enter. Nena loved a young man with a love mixed with fear. She begged for his life to remain tied to hers. The shrine answered her prayer. It saved his body. Then it slowly untied his heart, not with cruelty, but with balance. In the end, what she cherished most was not the man himself. It was the feeling of being needed. And when that feeling faded, she believed everything was lost. But it was not. She found herself again. And sometimes, that is the greater miracle, for love that is free does not need chains. And hearts that release do not starve, they heal.